All right, guys, video 4 of 5, and we are talking about for sale by owner versus listing with an agent. And again, as we have kind of embarked on this journey and gone through a few of these videos and discussed a couple different things, one of the biggest things I want to talk to you guys about, and this is in the 4th video, I think is a very important one, and it's qualified buyers and qualified showings. And so again, this sounds very elementary, very simple, but it's actually one of the things that most for sale by owner clients that convert into listing with an agent, this is one of their biggest complaints, and it's the lack of respect for their time. So as a for sale by owner, you have no way of knowing if the buyer is pre-qualified or pre-approved unless you ask them. Well, what happens is most people do not give a pre-qualification or pre-approval letter until they have already gone through the process and putting in an offer. Okay, so it's kind of a catch-22 because most people going to see houses aren't going to be presenting you with that letter. That's just the reality. So now you have what's called looky-loos, right? Which are people who are tire kickers who are just going around wanting to look, oh, let's see the neighbor's house 3 blocks away and see what he's got it for. Let's see what it looks like inside out. We have the similar layout. So now you have all this time and energy that you're exerting into something that you're not getting a return on that investment of your time. So that being said, that's a huge deal. Versus when you're working with an agent, right? If I have a property listed and somebody calls me, well, it's probably going to be another agent, and very few. I don't personally know of any agents. I'm sure they're probably out there, but I don't know of any agents that would work with a buyer and show them houses and spend time doing that if they're not pre-qualified or pre-approved. It just doesn't make sense for us because we're spending time doing this and we don't even know if they can purchase. So a lot of times when you work with an agent, you kind of eliminate wasting your time with people who aren't qualified or approved. The other side of it is, if let's say you say, well, that's fine, I'll do for sale by owner and I'll only show it to agents. Okay, well, agents don't like to work for free. And so, and again, it's just like everybody, right? Nobody likes to work for free. Let's just be honest. Who in their right mind likes to wake up every day in the morning, go to work, and then on Friday say, I don't need a check. Don't worry about it, boss. I got you. This week was on me. Nobody wants to do that, right? So realtors are the same way, where we're sitting there saying, hey, we're spending all this time, we're writing up all these contracts, we're doing all these things. We're not doing it for free. So with that being said, the realtor's going to come to you and say, hey, are you willing to pay a commission? Because we have a contract with our buyer, and our buyer says, hey, I got to pay you for your time. So if you sit there and say, no, I won't pay you a commission, let your buyer pay you. Okay, great. Well, now what's going to happen to my buyer when my buyer sees, okay, I'm buying a $200,000 house, man, I got to pay my realtor $6,000 in commission. As you know, and again, this is just an example. I got to pay him $6,000 in commissions because he did the work for me, and the seller's not paying it. Crap. So I'm paying $206,000 for this house, essentially. That's the way they're going to see it. So you sit there and say, okay, well, I'll pay the 3%, or I'll pay the 4%, or whatever, 2%, whatever it is. I don't know what your market specifies. Could be 1, could be 3. There's no standard for it, right? But the point is, you could sit there and say, well, I'll pay that. Okay, well, so now you're paying for the person that's buying your house to be represented by a professional, and you're not represented by a professional. So you're paying for that person to have expert help, and you're navigating these waters all by yourself with no guide. That makes no sense, right? So again, take that into account as you look into this, because on the qualification side, I've met tons of people who for sale by owner and end up never living in their home on the weekends, and it's all looky-loos. They don't get offers. It gets exhausting because they're not pre-qualified, they're not pre-approved, and honestly, it's very difficult for you to go in and say, yes, I will pre-approve your, or I want to, oh yeah, here's my pre-approval pre-qualification letter. Nobody's going to do that because they don't even know what they're going to offer, and 9 times out of 10, the pre-approval or pre-qualification letter comes with an amount of money they're approved or qualified for. So again, and let's assume you did go that route, you still have to spend time talking to them on the phone and gauging if they even approve or qualify. So again, think about your time.